she definitely sort of stuck to a certain set of principles that she had, and she didn't allow herself to be pulled away from them, even if it meant tremendous inconvenience. Like, she was determined not to have a shitty job. And I actually really admired that about her, even though it meant that we didn't have a house at all. Like, we lived in a tent for portions of my childhood, and we had no money at all. But it always felt like, yeah, but that's fine, because at least Mom doesn't have a shitty job that she doesn't like. And I'm not saying, like, that we really, I really do admire that, you know? She would say things to me like, you know, you don't have to go to school. Which I also really think is an awesome point. You know, only if it's right for you. So she was definitely not confined by the bounds of social norms, and I think I liked that a lot. And I think it helped me as a kid to feel like anything was possible. And also, you know, I got good at like starting campfires and stuff like that. There were other side perks of it as well. Yeah. Okay. That sounded like a politician's answer, by the way. Well, my mother is my role model. Thank you. Hi.
Hi. If you could make a new word and put it in the dictionary, what would it be and what would it mean?
Well, I tried to do that already, and it was abnosome. It was abnormal and awesome combined. It turns out it's actually kind of a cumbersome word that I kind of wish I had come up with another one, though. So, I don't know. There are instances in history of people setting out to get a word in a dictionary and succeeding, and I can't remember. I think... Does anyone know? What? Truthiness? Isn't quiz that one of those words? Does anyone know? Yeah. Yes, quiz, I think. That wasn't an etymology lesson. I don't know really what the genesis of the term quiz is, but quiz, I would invent quiz. Thank you. Yep. Hi.
Hi, so, like, you're really loved and everything. What is it like having such an amazing fan base and everything? Like, what is it like?
What is it like having an amazing fan base? Isn't that a bit of a self-congratulatory question? Who's your prettiest friend? Quick question. So we're awesome. You are awesome. That is true. You're very self-aware in knowing that this fan base is. I think it's an incredibly, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of like winning the lottery, you know? It's an amazing community. It's interesting for me because it's not, like, I've never been a part of any kind of fandom, and it's not something that I would ordinarily gravitate to, so it's a completely new social environment and social experience for me, and I love it in many, many ways. I feel like it's remarkable to watch strangers be so lovely and caring toward one another. Like, there's an intense degree of support that I see going on in the fandom. Fans taking care of one another in a way that I think is incredibly unusual for a community that there's no organization to it, there's no hierarchy, and yet people are really taking care of each other. It also feels like, from my vantage point, an amazing group of potential collaborators. Like, I actually feel like if we collectively set our sights on something, we could move mountains. We could do really amazing things, and that's a really exciting, very cool thing, you know? And there's lots of, you know, I mean, for me, I have done that in an interplay with the fandom, you know, around charity with Random Acts, and we built an orphanage. We're building a school in Nicaragua, and that's an amazing thing to be able to do with a group of strangers. And you know, I've also embarked on Gishwiz, which is a really remarkable celebration of weirdness and art and pushing of boundaries. And we've broken, you know, 8, I think, Guinness World Records with it. And the exciting thing to me is that all of that stuff feels like it's just scratching the surface. There could be orders of magnitude more magnificent things that we could do together. And it's also, for me, kind of on a personal level, very humbling. Like, I hear people come up and say things like, to all of the cast, all of us here, you know, we look up to you, or the show has, for some reason, helped carry me through a dark time in my life. And it definitely, when I feel like I'm at a crossroads where I'm about to make a bad decision, or where I'm being lazy or inconsiderate, I often think there are people that want you to be a better person, be a better role model, and it makes me try to be a little bit better person. So there's a lot of good stuff about this fandom.
Okay. So,
I'm gonna be here tonight.
you got a lot of fan mail, and I was just wondering, hypothetically, of course, if I were to send you an elephant, where would you hide it?
We have a big props lockup at Supernatural where we put all of the props. And there's like giant stuffed animals and neon signs and beds and things like that. I would probably tuck it in there for a while and see if anyone complained. Do you have an elephant that you're trying to unload?
A small drawing of an elephant.
Oh, that's much easier to handle.
But I was wondering if you'd like an actual elephant.
Well, I would love an actual elephant. I'm not sure it's legal or whatever, but big deal. It would be hard to explain to Warner Brothers. I'd just be cool with it. It's only going to be here for a few years. Great question, though. Thank you for asking. Hi.
Hi. Since you already know like some of the stuff that's happened on Supernatural, is there any other character that you would like to be other than Castiel?
Well, yes. I would love to. Gosh, there's lots of characters I'd love to play. I think I'd love to play Lucifer at some point. That would be fun. I think that Mark Pellegrino did such a great job with that character. That'd be a lot of fun to play. Yeah. You? What would your favorite character to play be?
Probably you.
Good answer. Hi.
Hi. So on Wednesday, it was Back to the Future Day.
Yes.
And imagine that Doc Brown, he shows up at your house and he takes you 15 years into the future, it's 2030, and West, he's a grown-up, and you find out he's married to Northwest, our great president, Kanye. He says, he tells you that the only
You're
reason...
painting a portrait of a very apocalyptic future.
The reason he let your son marry his daughter is because he made him change his last name to hers. So my question is, what would be the first thing you'd say to your son, West?
Normally I don't like the hypothetical questions, but I kind of think that you have really hit upon actually a question that a lot of people have been wondering. What? Don't introduce them. Yeah, I should be very careful about that. I don't know. I'd probably try to see if he can hook me up with a ride on Air Force One.